Hello everybody and welcome back to Fantastic Funfold Night! My name is Tatiana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and Monday Night Lives are my Fantastic Funfold Lives. Each week I introduce you to a different Fantastic Funfold that you can try at home to make your card making even more special and different to what store-bought cards are. Hi Renee. For those who have never watched me before, I am a card maker, a paper crafter, and I do live videos to inspire people to spend some time being creative and, more importantly, to send that creativity to someone. And a card is a very simple way. They're the cheapest thing to mail, and they can really make a difference in someone's day when they receive it in the mail. Hello Kayla and Monica, and I see lots of people jumping in. Hello Vicky. So tonight we're going to look at a double easel card. There are many ways to do this, and I'm going to show you one version that I received as a birthday card earlier this year. So let's head to the craft desk and get started. Flip. Fabulous. This is the double easel card. This is one that my friend Melissa sent me at the beginning of this year for my birthday. It was a lovely surprise. So basically this part's the same as a regular card, and then we added this little extra bit and it becomes a double easel. As I've said, this is one version of a double easel card, so I'm going to create that one. And next week we'll do a different version of an easel card. Okay, lots of people jumping in. Hello Tanya, Kathy, Margaret and Joan. I thought we would use the beautiful friendship stamp set. And you don't have to use DSP, but I'm trying to use the DSP that's retiring up a bit. So, and I really love this one, this particular piece. It's from the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, and the colors just really speak to me. And we're going to be using Balmy Blue. So we'll put that to the side. And as I have been, I will show you how I prep it all. So we need to start with a basic card base, and what we need is, I've taken an A4 sheet of cardstock in Balmy Blue and I'm going to trim it to 10.5 centimeters. If you are in an area that uses letter cardstock, you'd be trimming that at 4.5 inches using your letter card paper. And then you're going to score just in the usual spot at 14.8 centimeters, and in inches that would be at 5.5. So you're creating your regular card base. Your list. Oh, thank you, Diane. I haven't announced that, but yes, I am taking nominations. So please think of someone in Australia, so you don't have to be in Australia, but they do, who may benefit from receiving a card in the mail to let them know you're thinking of them. And Diane has already written. But I'm not following quite her comment, so Diane, if you could double check your spelling, perhaps. Anyhow, so this is the basis of our card base, and what we need to create next is the easel part of it, which is this part, which is very clever in that it becomes one of your layers. And I'm using Whisper White, so we're going to cut this one at 10 centimeters. That bit to the side. So if you're an inches person, you're doing that at 4 inches. And I need to trim this, so I'll pull out the handy arm and I'm going to trim this at 28.3 centimeters. 28.3. So I'm trimming a tiny bit off the end, and if you're in inches, that would be at 10¼ inch. And then we're going to score it at 14.3, and in inches that's 5.25, making sure you're using your scoring blade. Oh, don't write her address out, please, Diane. We will, if I have many multiple nominations, then I will have to draw out. But please, thank you for your nomination. But yes, don't put people's addresses up. Don't just say my niece, my nephew, my mother, my brother, my sister, my aunt. And I should mention that these nominations aren't open to YouTube because I'm so far behind in uploading to YouTube. And then the next score we need to do is at 21.3 centimeters. And in inches, that is at 7.3 inches. And this creates, as I was saying, the Z fold. So we fold that up. So this is almost the same height, the front there, but it's not quite. And I'm just going to take my bone folder, and then we can fold this down. Now I'm using regular Whisper White because I didn't want to make it too thick, because this is all layering on top of each other. As so, and we're starting to see the foundation of our double easel. Excuse me. Now I want to add some DSP in here, and for the DSP it needs to be trimmed down to 9.5 centimeters, or if you're in inches, 3 3/4 inch. And for this layer here, it's 13.8, and in inches that's 5 inches. And you'll see that this sits layering in quite nicely, except I feel like, well, the flowers are floating in all different directions. But anyway, you get the idea that that sits. Oh, hello, Linda from Indiana, and morning. Well, it's evening here, Fran, but I am doing a fun fold, fantastic fun folds tonight, and I'm trying to provide the measurements in both inches for letter size cardstock and centimeters for the A4 cardstock. And I did forget what measurement I did here. The one thing that I didn't write down quickly, that was 7 centimeters. So the other piece of DSP to go on the front panel here would be still at 9.5, and I'm doing 6.5 centimeters for the DSP, as so. And in inches, that would be 3 3/4 inch and 2 1/4. 2 1/4 inch for the front panel. So I'm writing that down, making notes as I'm watching. And we can now put the DSP to the side and take our trimmer and put that to the side. And let's get semi-assembly. I'm going to assemble this part first. So I'm taking the Whisper White, the easel fold part of the card, and I'm adding my multi-purpose liquid adhesive and making sure that the card is correctly opening the top fold card, which I used a balmy blue for, and lining that up. It's centered. And so basically you can see that it's a double easel. If I put that to the side so as the camera is top up, you'll be able to see that. And I'm going to adhere this straight away as well, because me don't want it lying around. So I like to adhere bits together as soon as I can so that I don't lose them on my craft desk, essentially. And you could also cut another panel, so exactly the same size, and add it right here. I'm not sure if I'll do that quite just yet, so I'm going to just add this bit to the front. Depends on what I decide how I'm decorating this. And you could write in there potentially, but don't forget you've got the entire inside of your card to write in. And we're going to create a bit of a garden, some flowers. So I am going to take my other piece, the other half of my Whisper White, and I will need, I really like the Stamparatus mats. So this is the mat that comes with the Stamparatus, and I find it really good using it. Good evening, Glenda. And where's the list? I'm going to just see what the coordinating colours are. Balmy Blue, Blackberry Biss, Blueberry Bushel, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink, So Saffron, and Whisper White. I like the sound of the Calypso Coral. Let's start with Calypso Coral. Hello, Gina. It's been a while since you've caught me live. So good to have you. Ooh. So I'm going to pull that stamp off and grab a block. And stamp that in. So when I'm inking, it's just tap, 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 tap. And then with photopolymer, you just want to put a bit of pressure down. The foam mat helps with that to get that even stamping. Now, if you can see on the cover there, the stamp is designed to have tonal variations. So that is really cool, that you can get those tonal variations without having to stamp multiple times or having different layers of stamping. I'm just going to stamp this one 2 more times because I'm not entirely sure how I would like to decorate. Oh, wonderful. I'm so thrilled, Glenda. I mean, I'm not thrilled that she cried or brought tears to her eyes, but I'm thrilled that she's received it. Mail has been slow lately. We need some leaves. So I'm going to stamp, actually what I'm going to do is put away the Calypso Coral. So there we go. Glenda's nomination was selected once for my Share a Sunshine nominations. So please do nominate someone that you think needs a card to brighten their day, and your nomination may be selected. And I said some leaves. Then grab some blocks. So you've just probably noticed I'm showing different ways of mounting your stamps onto blocks. Doesn't really matter which way you use. I want a bit of a brighter green. That uses Mossy Meadow, I think it was, but I want a bit of a brighter green. Let's try Pear Pizzazz. And I'll be fussy cutting these out. So I'm going to try to make sure that the bits of cardstock that would have been thrown out get a bit of something there so that it's not wasted. Beautiful. You're nominating your lovely friend Kate. Fantastic. Thank you, Joan, for your nominations. Now that I've got 2, I will draw the next the person's who nomination will receive the card at my next live on Monday. No, today's Monday. on Wednesday. And Flirty Flamingo, let's give that a go. That was one of the other colours. So this is the Flirty Flamingo colour, and I'm going to do something a little bit tricky. I've got the Pear Pizzazz green and the Flirty Flamingo, and the stamp has the leaf, the flower stem. So I'm going to, because it's clear photopolymer stamp, I can see where I'm putting the ink, and now I'm going to carefully add the Pear Pizzazz in. And when I stamp that, I'm pressing, I'm going to get both colors in, and I don't have to pretend the stems are pink or pretend the flowers are green. Hello people joining in. Thank you for joining me. I'm not going to keep going with names now, unless you say hello. Otherwise people might get offended that I said hello to one and not to the other, but I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I hope everyone's keeping well. You're almost sister. Oh, I love it. Almost sister. Kathy's got... Ah, yes, Carrie. That's pretty much why I didn't want to say hello to you, because I didn't want to get distracted. For those who watched my last live, Carrie said hi and we got chatting, and then I instead of scoring, I cut. I'm just going to add another one of these flowers over here. And I'm going to grab the Petal Pink, because that was one of the other colours that coordinated with that paper. And we're going to stamp one other flower. I forgive you. Of course I do. Oh, tap, tap, tap. And stamp. Tap, tap, tap. Stamp. Tap, 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 tap. So I don't know how many of these flowers we're going to use, but at least we have some options, basically. Hi Susan, thanks for joining. I have already created the folds. We're doing the double easel card. I'm putting it sideways so that people who are joining can see. You'll have to watch the replay to see how that came together. Just giving my stamps a quick clean so that I don't lean into them essentially and get ink on myself, because I have done that. It's not uncommon. Who's a clean stamper? Is anyone a clean stamper out there? Let me know. Or how dirty, not, that sounds wrong, dirty. How inky do you get when you stamp? That's probably a better way of putting it. Just wanted to add the center bits into the flowers as well. Just thinking what color. What color? That one kind of really has it. That one needs it. And one more. Mango. I think I'll do Mango Melody. So, it's a perfect color for the insides. So the stamp set has the stamens separated. Is it the stamen? Separated out. And again, take advantage that it's photopolymer stamp so you can see where you're stamping, and that just really livens up those flowers. Bing, bang, boom. And even though this one already has it, I'm going to add in them in the Mango Melody, just to kind of tie it all in. And bing, bang, boom. I keep putting away my Simply Chamois. This is a fantastic cleaning tool. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. It's only $14 and it's so good to have. Now we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting, just a tad. You're welcome, Carrie. So the way I'm going to, it's pink. So Glinda soaked her Simply Chamois in bleach and it's nice and clean and it's pink. Actually, that might be fun, having a pink Simply Chamois. To be honest, I haven't, night Carrie, haven't thought about bleaching mine. I do throw mine in the washing machine every so often when I'm doing a load of rags. And though the ink doesn't come out, it's stained, but they're nice and clean. Some ink does come out, but the black doesn't tend to come out. Yeah, you would need to bleach it, but I'm tempted now. I'd like a pink chamois. So remember, keep the nominations coming. Nominate, you can just tell me friend, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, whatever it is, just as long as they are in Australia. And on Wednesday during my creativity time at 10 AM Facebook Live, I will draw out someone's name and their nominee will receive the card in the mail on your behalf, but I'll send it for you. So I just write a little note saying that this person nominated you and they wanted you to know that that they're thinking of you, and I'm sending it, and then I sign the card from both of us. So I'm not being too precise with the fussy cutting today. The stamp set's great for that. There's no dies for the stamp set. It is very much a fussy cut kind of stamp set. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably fast forward, or I might have already sped this bit up, depending on my mood when I'm editing the video. So basically when I'm cutting these out, you bleached mine and it's pink as well. Awesome. So when I'm fussy cutting these, I'm cutting them off the main piece of cardstock because it's easier to control this, and then that way I'm not worried about accidentally snipping into one of the other stamped images. So it's quite easy. And my biggest tip for the fussy cutting is that you just move the paper and not your scissors, and that gives you more of a smooth look. And if you wanted to, you could cut closer to the stamped image, but something free-flowing like this, I actually find it more stressful cutting it on the outline than leaving it. And I'll admit my white border isn't even, but remember, this is handmade cards, people. We're not mass producing cards, even though we can mass produce cards. It's not our aim here. We want the handmade, beautiful, thoughtful design to come through. No, the color doesn't matter. You make it look effortless. I don't feel like it's much of an effort, to be honest, Suzanne. I'm not too fussed about fussy cut, and I'm not fussy cutting. I am not too picky either. I'm going with the flow. This stamp set's very free-flowing in my opinion, you know, compared to stamp sets that are harsh outline. Well, not harsh, I don't want to use the word harsh. But compared to stamp sets that are strong outlines and then coloured in, you know, this one's a bit more free-flowing and it makes it effortless to cut almost. Excuse me. Still got that cough, though it is better. Woohoo! I do find it therapeutic too, Glenda. It is. Most definitely is. It is a lovely stamp set too. We're almost there, people. The leaves are probably the fussiest to cut out, and those last flowers are basically circles. What I do is do. Depends on my mood. Thank you, Susan. Not as coordinating. Well, perhaps so, yes. It wasn't intentional. I was trying to get colours off the designer series paper more than my nails. You were thinking the same thing. Great minds think alike. Susan and Suzanne. I'm just doing a little bit of chopping, and now I can go back. Hey, Tam. Hope you're well. Sorry, I'm also concentrating. I am concentrating here. Though it's semi-effortless, these ones are a little bit more fussy. My daughter, for those who watched that live last week on Wednesday when my daughter was asking questions, she asked about fussy cutting and what fussy cutting was, and I'd explained, and she had to cut out some triangles for her schoolwork. She said, "Mummy, I'm fussy cutting them." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." And she said, "You move the paper, not the scissors, right, Mummy?" It was very cute, but it's like, no, actually for triangles, you just kind of try to go snip, snip. But I thought it was cute. She made me a beautiful Mother's Day card too. How was Mother's Day for people? I hope everyone had a lovely day. And the same to anyone who's mother-like figure as well. I have people in my life that I think of on Mother's Day, even though they're not my mother. But they're mother-like figures to me. So I hope everyone had a lovely day. Look, we're almost there. We're almost there. You had a lovely day, lovely. Glenda, I'm glad to hear. Look, and the next few flowers are going to be super easy because they're basically circles. With a little bit of a decorative edge. Cut one more and then we'll leave the rest. If we need it, we can always added in. Hello, Becky. I am tempted the same as Zerga though. That's what you're known at. So we're going to start putting together our arrangement. So basically I want those flowers to kind of tuck in behind that fold of the easel, but you'll still see them when they're nice and opened. And because our envelopes are a little bit bigger, it doesn't matter that if that goes off the edge a bit there. It's actually quite okay. And then I might add that there. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. So I know I'm pleased with that. I'm going to add my favorite adhesive, the liquid multi-purpose glue. Put the lid down and I can slide that in underneath, and I only added the glue to the center, and that gives me the opportunity to add glue to the back of these and still slip them behind. It gives a bit of texture to the card as well, with the layers sticking up, and liked that sitting there. So I'm trying to keep the glue towards the bottom because I'm having it hang off this edge and that edge. You can kind of see that opens up, and what we might do is stamp the sentiment in there just for something different. So the sentiment won't always show even when it's standing, but whoever receives the card will see it. It's kind of like a hidden sentiment. And ooh, yes, I like that. So add the glue in. Hi Kay, thanks for joining me. We've kind of created the card, we're just decorating it now, and got to add some leaves as well. Yes, oh, I really like the leaves right there. Excuse me. And some leaves over here. That's okay, okay? Honestly, never need to apologize for being late or not watching even. We have things that we need to do. Slip those leaves. So I'm basically just playing around, seeing what I like and slipping it in. And because I'm not gluing down the edges, makes it a lot easier just to slip things in, such as that flower there, since we've stamped them. Don't want them to go to waste. And I'll break the kind of flower thing there by putting some leaves. Oh, ha, did you see that? It did a good little flip. There we go. What about? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Fabulous. And one thing that I didn't say in terms of pre-cutting is that you need another piece of Whisper White. This one is 10 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters, and that will just give you a nice white surface to write your message on. If you're using letter cardstock, that would be 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Thank you, Suzanne. Right, I'm really pleased with that. And what I'm going to do is I want to use some of these cutouts. So you could stamp, you could totally stamp the inside, but since I've already got all these fussy cut elements, I am going to use them on the inside of the card. Thank you, Margaret. And I'm adding the glue to the paper, which is opposite to what I was doing before, just simply because when I snip off the edges in a minute, I don't want to get glue on my paper snips. So anything that was being glued near an edge, I was using nice little arrangement on the inside as well, and that's just something a tad different in the sense that we often just stamp the insides. And now I'm just going to flip that over so I can see the free edge. Is that? Yeah, you can see that. So I'm flipped the card insert over, and now I'm just using my paper snips to cut the excess off. It is a very pretty stamp set, isn't it, Monica? And I have not used it enough, but I'm rectifying that at the moment, aren't I? I've done another card with it recently. I did 3 cards on a live recently with it, and we're going to adhere that into our card. As so. And for those who watch me fairly frequently, oh, we've got to stamp the sentiment, and also I say that no card is complete until we have a matching envelope, or we decorate the inside, done, and have a matching envelope. So I'm going to grab a Whisper White envelope. Oh yes, that's an envelope. And grab my mat again. And before I'm just putting some paper down. Me too, Kathy. I'm very pleased with that. I recently did that for a card that's going for a blog hop, and I went, ooh, I like that. I did think, since I was using the stamp set, and I think I will. Thank you, Susan, for the reminder. So I've put that piece of scrap paper down so that the envelope flap was only getting stamped right there. We used mango. You love in the inside. I agree, never enough sparkle. So I'm just going to quickly stamp the envelope first, and we'll add some leaves to the envelope as well. Oh, everyone loves the idea of Wink Costello, and I haven't said no. I in fact said yes. So just bear with me, people. I'm decorating the envelope. Jumping guns. Perfect. And trying to decide what I do first. Let's put the ink pads away. I'll keep the Calypso Coral out, because that's the colour we'll use for the sentiment. Just putting those to the side so I know I need to clean them. And I love our beautiful friendship. Or so very happy to know you. Nope, friendship. Is that the friendship one? Yep. Love our beautiful friendship in Calypso Coral. Ha, thank you, Susan. And this kind of arc on the friendship kind of goes well with arc of the flowers there. Perfect. Stamp it, ship it. And don't forget, write your nominations Friendship is perfect. Excellent. I thought that'll be perfect for the nominees. Because even if they're family, they're still friends and you're still thinking of them. So yes, please, please, please nominate. Write who you would like to receive this card and I may send it to them on your behalf. And of course, since we have been talking about it, the Wink of Stella. I sorted through my Wink of Stella the other day to find the non... I've got some emptying out. Okay. So I'm just going to add... Not painting the entire flower. Not even painting. Well, I guess it's like painting. Kind of picking some petals that I feel like adding some of that shine to. And don't forget the ones on the inside. Too easy. Oh, thank you, Kathy. You're nominating your daughter's Courtney. Thanks, Susan. So is that picking up? Can't quite see if I can see the shimmer. There. If I angle it at the light, you can just see the shimmer. And of course the inside. And where's the envelope gone? There. You know what? While we're here, why not? There. Now the envelope shimmers too. Thank you for the love. Just gonna take those bits out. Thank you, Susan. So that's a version of a double easel card, and the plan is to show you a different version of a double easel card next week. I did do the regular easel card, which kind of, well, I can't show you. I've already sent those ones off. And I don't know, can you see? I know the angle's all wrong, but it's kind of fun. Like where I'm standing from and I'm peeking in, I can just see the sentiment there, and I'm pleased with it. I'm thrilled that everyone seems to love it too. And yes, so join me again at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, 10 a.m. for some creativity time. And we'll create another beautiful card that you can nominate to send to someone. I hope you all have a wonderful couple of days, and thank you so much for spending your Monday night with me and yeah, commenting and loving. Thank you, and good night. Bye for now.